It was another dark, eerie night in our house. The moonlight spilled through the windows, casting long, restless shadows that slithered silently across the corridor walls and floors. I darted under my sheets, hiding, hoping that tonight I would be safe. But the shadows had other plans. They drifted past my room, slipping instead beneath the door of my brother's bedroom, that cold, cursed room that sat on the darker side of the house, the one no one wanted to enter. Even in daylight, it stayed dim, as if the sun itself refused to touch it. The air there was heavy and bitterly cold, thick with something unseen. Passing it to go to the bathroom always made my skin crawl. My sisters and I avoided it at all costs, but my brother had no choice. As the only boy in the family, that room was his alone. Stillness blanketed the house, that strange, suffocating stillness that makes you feel like something is watching, waiting. As we all drifted into uneasy sleep, they stirred from the corners of his moonlit room. The shadows began to move. At first, they were silent. Then they began to speak, not aloud, but inside his mind. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't stay awake. He was caught between worlds, trapped in a waking nightmare. They whispered his name, mocking him, taunting him, planting fear like seeds in the soil of his soul. He tossed and turned, sheets twisting around his legs like ropes. His breath quickened. He knew they were there, watching, toying, smiling. He could feel them, smiling. Then it began. A swirling shape opened at the foot of his bed, a vortex, turning and curling like a storm made of shadow and flame. His toes dangled too close. A hot wind rushed upward, and then claws emerged, yanking at him with a force beyond gravity. He tried to pull back. They persisted. They pulled harder. The air grew thick and electric. Laughter echoed through the vortex, distorted, inhuman, cruel. You belong to us. You deserve to be here. Talons scraped his skin. His throat opened to scream, but no sound came. Darkness enveloped him, suffocating, endless. His body would not move. His mind screamed commands, but his limbs were frozen. And then they dragged him in. Down he went, falling fast into a dimension of shadows, a pit of darkness, fire, and eternal dread. He plummeted, endlessly, surrounded by mocking voices, claws, fangs, red eyes glinting in the dark. His stomach lurched as if he'd been falling for hours. When he landed, there was no ground, just blackness. Chains rattled somewhere in the distance. The air smelled of rot, alone, shaking. Silent tears burned his face as he waited to see what they would do to him, what he had done to deserve it, and if he would ever escape. God help me, he whispered into the blackness. He could barely see his own hands. He could not move. It felt like he was inside a room, a dungeon, trapped inside an invisible room, burning with a flame unseen. His body shook, but he could not run, as though he knew he was trapped, but didn't know how. He cried silently, waiting to see what they would do. Screeching and scratching sounds surrounded him, banging against a wall that wasn't there. What had he done to deserve this? Would he ever escape? He fell to the dark, dusty floor. He felt hopeless, hung his head and whispered in his heart, a heartfelt plea that could be heard throughout the universe. God, help me. And then, without warning, it was morning. He was back on his bed, alive. He couldn't recall coming back. He looked around anxiously. There was no one there, only the willow tree swaying outside his window as though watching, the only witness. He stumbled into the kitchen like a man returned from the grave. His eyes hollow, his shoulders hunched, his soul drained. We teased him for looking so pale and ragged, but he said nothing. He couldn't. He didn't know what to say. Had they warned him, threatened him with eternal death? If he spoke, he wouldn't eat, he wouldn't look at us. He simply left for school in silence. And though the house looked the same, we all knew something had changed. Deep down, we all knew something had attacked him that night, and we were all too afraid to say a word. Our mum had warned us not to speak of these unbelievable acts, but we knew they came back. Who would be next?